Hey guys, Dev here at WeBuyHouses.com and welcome to Cash Offer Masterclass, episode number 23. All right, I've got a cool one today because, I like to look at some cheap houses and I like to look at some really nice houses. I think this is a really nice one. Look at the ARV on it, $369. Come on now, that's a pretty nice house here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. It's in Cedar Hill, Texas. It's offered by Fazio Real Estate Solutions. And as usual, I like to shout them out because I use their content. If you have any interest in the property or anything that they have properties all over Texas that they've got under contract. They're a big and successful wholesaler here. Reach out to Jade Vaughn at that number right there, 214-646-9646. She will hook you up with properties because they got them. All right, so let's jump into this. We have this, what looks like a pretty cool property. It's at 824 Willowwood Drive in Cedar Hill, Texas. Where the heck is Cedar Hill, Texas? Well, it's right there, my friends. It's south of Dallas, southwest of Dallas, southeast of Fort Worth. And so it's right in that spot right there. I guarantee there's a Walmart. There's a Golden Chick. You can store your stuff. Come on now. Where's the things we care? Whoa, Total Wine. Okay. All right. McAllister's. It's got a Sprouts. This is not a bad area. It's got a Sprouts. Come on now. That's pretty cool. All right. So let's jump into this. The property. I thought something cool to do. Look at the street view real quick. There's your subject property. When I was a kid doing this business like 100 years ago, we didn't have this cool stuff, where you could go look at the property on your freaking computer, tablet, smartphone, or watch, or whatever you're looking at it on. It's pretty cool to be able to do this. I see a property that's not been maintained. Now, is it just me, or is that a poor edge? Is that an edge? There's no edge. I think that's the issue. There's no edge. If you don't have an edge, can you call it an edge? I don't know. There's no edge to the property, to the grass around the sidewalks and the steps. But that kind of indicates. You also look over here at this fence. Lack of maintenance. Why do houses end up being sold to investors? It's because lack of maintenance. Look, a house is a living, breathing thing you have to take care of every day. And if you don't, it becomes, it looks kind of like this. I mean, if you look at that roof, now I think they're going to say no known issues. We'll see when we look at the pics. But man, I'm just seeing some issues, right? So there may be no known issues, but there might be some observable issues. If we look at the thing, the street itself, not bad. This is kind of, we got a lot of stuff like this here in Texas, and, it's kind of, mid-range builder stuff. It doesn't look bad. It's not a bad neighborhood. All right, let's jump into it. They say 369.5, and it's got almost 2,500 square feet, which is pretty big for a 3-2 on a relatively small lot. So it's packed in there with its neighbors because they love each other. Yeah, they want to hang out. So, all right, $24.95. Did I put that in my model? $24.95. Yeah, I did. Cool. All right, let's look also at what do they say about the big five: roof, AC, plumbing, electrical, and foundation. They say no known issues on all these things. That's awesome. They're saying this house is in excellent condition, and they've been able to get it under contract to where they can sell it to you for $219,500. That sounds like a pretty good deal. Although, it's a pretty good. I bet it's already at 0.7. Let's see. If we, I kind of got out of sequence. I want to show you a couple of things. I don't think 369 is the ARV. Here's what we are finding out when we look at this property. If we look at Zillow, 300. That's what they say. And as you guys have noticed in the last couple of episodes, Zillow is like really dragging down the property values because they're backing them way off here in Texas. They said this house was worth 353 back in 2022 at the peak of the housing market. We talked about that in episode 20. Go back and watch episode 20. It's a very important episode because I give you guys a lot of the educational background of what we're doing with these numbers. And, so Zillow's saying, yeah, it was worth like 350, but now they think it's worth 300. And so if we look at Realtor's a little more optimistic with a 327. They don't have any sort of oh yeah, they do. They got a little chart. I don't know what that chart shows. Oh yeah, at some point, their collateral analytics had it at 403. Collateral analytics, they must be smoking something over there because I'm telling you that house was never at a 403 ARV. But everybody now is like 307, 334, 326, and then we come in, 328, 324. What are these guys saying? 369. See the problem? You see the problem we're immediately running into? Jump over to Redfin, 302, 848, excuse me. And Property Radar had it at 327. 758. So here's what I did. And again, if you look at episode 20, you'll understand what we're doing in estimating ARV is step number 1. What is the after repaired value of this property? After we dump our money into it and we do the holding costs and we do all that stuff to get this thing back on the market, what's it going to be worth? Well, my average of 4 sources says it's 314. 727. So I came over here, put in the square feet, and I found that it was when I divided 314, I need to be around 126 to get to 314, and that's where we are. So right off the bat, our ARV does not agree with their ARV. This is pretty typical. Sometimes wholesalers are just optimistic. Sometimes they're looking at maybe different sources. But I don't know. When you Google the address, you're going to get these links right here. And if you go look at them, you're going to see these values. And so I can't find anything that says 369,500. And that would be kind of the issue right off the top. Now, doesn't necessarily mean it's a horrible deal. But if we take the 314 that we came to just now here in our calculation, and we applied the 70% discount factor to it, we're at 220. And they are at what? 220. Do y'all see the problem? Now, maybe it's not a problem, because remember, what did they say about the Big Five? No known issues. But what did our eyeballs tell us? When we looked on Google Maps, we saw some issues, right? Some, so lack of maintenance kind of things, right? So is it really 000 and all these things? Because if it is, this property is priced perfectly. It's at 219. You should go get it. Now, as usual, I have not looked at the pictures. I've been waiting for you to join me so that you and I today could take a look at this thing and decide what we would pay for it. So let's go look at the pictures. This time we got JPEGs, not like last time, those web page printout things that we had. All right. So first pick, garage view. It's funny. It's like not very alluring to just start with the garage, but on the other hand, you as a homeowner, probably your main view of the house. You're coming in and going out of the garage, kind of like that paint color. I'm not going to lie. These pictures look like they are from Zillow. I mean, maybe not. No, because we can zoom in on them, so they're pretty good. Whoops. All right. So let's look around. The roof does look pretty good. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything with that roof. The paint on the eaves. What year was this house built? What did they say? 1998. So, 27-year-old house. Still, that parts of it look like they're in pretty good shape. Just this nastiness kind of makes me think lack of giving a crap about it. But, we'll see. We'll see when we get in there, right? Brick, I'm not seeing any cracks in it. Whoops, sorry. I'm not sure how I got over there. Foundation looks pretty good. We've got a decent outside condenser. A lot of junk coming in the house wire-wise. Internet and electricity and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it looks okay. Look how close we are to our neighbor. I could touch my unit and his unit. It's kind of crazy. That's a little close. Because we noticed, we were looking at huge house, small lot, and no big deal. No big deal. Some people like less yard, so living close isn't that big of a deal. They're showing us the electrical meter box. Yep. Okay, it's got one of those. And now what I do notice is a little bit of discoloration. If I was selling this house, I would come around this thing with a pressure washer, try to get that exterior. It'll just look crisp. But, interesting interface to the house there. Oh, we love the mechanicals, that. And so I love this. Do you guys see a year on there anywhere? Anyone? I'm not seeing a year that it was made. And guess we're looking at the outside condenser unit. Yep. R410A. Interesting. I don't see age on it. No big deal. I'm not gonna stick around. It said Dakin. I'm gonna assume that's in pretty good shape because they said no issues and it doesn't look bad. Again, just a different angle. Boy, we're spending so much time on this side of this house. It's like I'm starting to wonder, is this the best side of the house? And so it's like, hey, just kind of hang on over there and check it out. I do see a little bit of what I think might be a foundation related crack there, but it's hard to tell. I just noticed it. Did y'all see that? Do you see that? It may just be the brickwork. We won't dwell on that. We also won't dwell on this tree, which looks like it has some sort of disease, but I'm sure that's normal. Whatever. There is stuff like here right up against the foundation that maybe not be. These aren't trees or anything, but they're some big bushes, like well above the window. And why have a window there if you have this stuff? So I would remove most or all of that. I don't know what it is. It's kind of wooded up. Here again, guys, we haven't even walked in this house yet. And I just see an overall lack of giving a crap, if that's a metric. I don't give a crap about my house. As it discolors or, the sidewalk starts to look like that. I don't give a crap. You should give a crap because if you care about your house, man, it'll pay you back over time. Like a house that's in great shape, as you guys have seen, will sell for full value. A house that's in poor shape may not sell for even 50% of what the full value might be if repairs were made. Looking up here, yeah, that's a funny, just very black window, right? It's like a portal into another dimension or something. I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to tell. These bushes, I think this is what we were looking at in that shot a minute ago at that window. There's a window back there, obviously. This stuff needs to go, go, go. I don't want that there. I want my window looking out front and being all sunny and bright and nice. Another view. Oh, look, somebody mowed the lawn since the Google Street View. That's nice. Somebody mowed the lawn, but nobody cared for that lawn. That's not like St. Augustine or Bermuda or whatever, we might have down here in Texas. That's kind of weeds, mowed weeds. I'm just picking on it. Okay, let's look at this other side. They finally took us to the other side of the house. For a big old wall like that, I'm not seeing any cracks in any or anything like that. I think foundation wise, I'm not seeing any red flags, and I do like that paint color. I just really like that. Windows, I'm sure, from 1998. No big deal. Got a garage door. Got a bunch of junk in front of it. It's a nice garage door. The eaves and edges of the house look fine. That light looks like it's seen better days. And see again how close you are to the neighbor. Oh my gosh. I hope these people are nice people. I hope they don't have loud dogs. I hope whatever. But, probably. This house, again, lack of maintenance. Who would let this happen in their backyard? Would you let this? I know you. I know you. And you wouldn't do this. You wouldn't let this happen in your backyard. So just a little bit of cleanup, though. When you look at something like this, you think, if I could get it at a really good discount and go in there and clean all this stuff up and make it look nice, pressure wash the brick and make it look nice, man, you could really help this house to sell. You can see why it's not selling. It looks like it was abandoned and that the vegetation was just allowed to grow up along the outside of the house. I can't wait to get inside this thing, right? You too? Are you thinking about that? Let's get in. Okay. You can kind of get an indication up there. What is going on with your blinds and your oh my. What is going on up there? Oh, wow. Okay. Let's keep going. Yep, side of the house, we've seen it. There is kind of a straight edge right there, which is, when they did the brick, they intentionally, you can see they had a straight edge in the brick there, which is interesting. And maybe it was an expansion point or allows it to shift or something. Just crap growing in the yard. Let's get rid of all this stuff. It looks horrible. Look at that thing. You're never going to sell a house like this. So now this is why this house is being offered to a cash buyer, is because of neglect and lack of maintenance. So, they may say there's no known issues. You just see it, right? You guys see it. Just a lack of routine maintenance on your house that would have preserved the value greatly. All right. And that's looking out into the jungle, I think, through the sliding door. This house, man, looks like it was abandoned. I think that's a sliding glass door with one of the blinds, the blades hanging down. Yeah, okay, inside. All right, carpet from 1998. That's what that is. And I think walls from 1998. And I think popcorn. Does that look like popcorn to you guys? Looks like it to me. This house hasn't been touched since 98. I don't even think they trimmed a tree or a bush since 1998. If you look at this thing. This house, it has potential, but all the flooring needs to be done. So it is a full cosmetic. Flooring, painting, you would paint these probably white. And then maybe, I think you would change that countertop. This is cosmetic, see? Swap that out. That's a builder's grade from 1998. Looks pretty disgusting here 27 years later. Ugh. And that top. It's gross. I don't have a problem with builder's grade kind of double sink thing. It just looks gross. I would replace that. Even with a similar product and some nice faucets, it would look fine. All right, I'm taking too much time. Oh, something has gone terribly wrong here. Something has gone terribly wrong. I'm not sure exactly what we're seeing here. We are seeing some sort of floor drain. Like this might have been a shower, and that might have been the drain over the shower. I don't know what the tube's doing or where it's coming from. And Lord Almighty, what happened to your house? What happened to your house? Something. Yep, it was the shower. Exactly what I thought. And they just connected that to the top in case any water came out, it would drain out. Kind of makes sense. Yeah, this is a complete rehab, obviously. Complete rehab. The toilet's probably a goner. The tub, probably a goner. I think this is a very full rehab on the inside. What disgusting things happened in this house that the closet looks like the outside? It literally looks just the garbage and disgustingness. And it's a nice house. And people obviously lived in this thing right up to the point of this. And boy, we're spending so much time there. I think here's your main living area. What I'm not seeing is a bunch of cracks and stuff like that. So I do think the foundation is good on this place. Everything needs to be painted and touched. And I'm pretty darn sure that is popcorn on the ceiling. It doesn't look as aggressive as some of the popcorn I've seen, but maybe it's just the photo. Popcorn generally needs to go. Yeah, I think this is a bedroom. Looks like a bedroom. Just that somebody's already picked up tons of crap out of this house. It's unbelievable what somebody left here. It's just crazy. But again, the worst carpet, from 27 years ago, and paint. So flooring and paint, that's all part of our cosmetic. Look at another bedroom. Oh, look at that. Shocker. They put a bunch of junk in the corner. Why don't you... There's like a trash day 1 or 2 days a week. And what you do when you have the trash is you take it outside, you put it in this bin, and they take it away from your house. It's magical. It's magical. Some people don't take advantage of that service. I'm ragging on whoever lived here because I think this is disgusting. This Taco Casa and Dickies and what's that other one? We've got some sunflower seeds over there. A plate that looks like it wasn't used, oddly enough. Oh my gosh. Just don't throw your stuff on the floor. I mean, if you didn't do that right there, if you just didn't throw... Okay, I got to stop complaining. It's just amazing when I see this. And I've seen it a million times, and I bet you have too if you've done this business. We see houses that people have just destroyed by lack of maintenance. I believe we're looking out here at the electrical panel, and it's got some stuff on it. Info there. Don't know if that's really telling me anything. And this is the inside unit for the AC. You know what I do like seeing here? See the pack of filters. Now, whoever's working on this house may have changed the filter and brought the pack in here, but I'm hoping that the homeowner did it because, changing your filter every 90 days is very important. It keeps junk out of your ductwork in your house. Bags and bags and bags of trash. This was a very nice house that somebody just abused, and they didn't know how to use that weekly trash service. There are some things falling down, and I don't know how much more we really need to see of this. Oh, well, this is good to see. Yeah. That looks like 1968, not like 1998. Isn't that crazy? Definitely popcorn. Let's see the popcorn up there. Popcorn. Texas went through a phase, I don't know, like 10 years or whatever, where everybody was blowing that popcorn up on the ceiling, and it's not what you want now. And this, nor is this. So full cosmetic. Oh, the vanity needs to go. Look at that. Ugh. Wow. Just crazy to see such a nice house just kind of destroyed by lack of maintenance. Just crazy. That tub's disgusting. Would you step in there? What would have to be done to that before you would step into that tub? That is disgusting. So, man, full cosmetic, full repairs, full paint, everything. As I think about it, it's obviously a bedroom, I think a double closet thing. I'm not exactly sure. I do know that at one point it was Easton's room, and I just want to say to Easton, I'm sorry your parents demonstrated such a lack of fiscal responsibility in regard to their home. So, well, I'd say somebody needed crutches, but then again, I'd say they probably didn't because they left them there. So, just a disgusting setup here. Look at that. Look at that. They never thought about even cleaning it, much less repainting it. Sometimes I wonder if people should be allowed to live in homes, some people. And there's the kitchen over there. Ooh, wow. Laundry room. Yeah, exactly what I would think. Manufacturer date on this thing, which is a smart water electric water heater, is 05. It's kind of odd that a 1998 house would have needed a water heater 7 years later, but that one's 20 years old now. Could be working, but it's not going to work forever. It's 20 years old. And it's in the middle of the laundry room, just in the middle of the room, in front of the shelves. It's odd. This is not up to code. There would be a pan under it and a drain line to the outside if it was up to code. And we're looking at just what did they do to these walls? I want to know. What was on their hands? Was it blood? Were these serial killers? What is going on in this? Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah, there's no words other than tear it out. Tear it out. Rip it out. Wow. Honestly, the garage looks better than most of the rooms in the house. And there's our electrical panel, and it looks fine. Yeah, it's a 98 panel. Looks like something was done in 24. Oh, it was winterized in 24. Yeah, nobody's been in this house for a while. It's kind of been an abandoned property, I bet. But wow, man, guys. So much junk. Kitchen, complete redo. One of the most disgusting houses, I think. Like, if you go watch all 23 episodes and tell me if you don't agree that this is the most disgusting house that we've seen, as far as just what could have been a perfectly nice house and was just destroyed by lack of maintenance and lack of care and lack of cleaning. I don't think anybody ever cleaned this thing. It's crazy to see this kind of devastation to real estate. Honestly, it upsets me a little bit. You can even with a cheap house, you can keep it clean, you can keep it nice, and you can live a nice life in a little house, a cheap house. It doesn't matter. It's all about what you do with your time, your elbow grease to keep it in nice condition. And these people just obviously destroyed the value of this house. Now, I do think the kitchen cabinets are savable and they can be painted. I think the appliances have to go, so it's part of full cosmetic. Man, honestly, I'm a little just tired of looking at this place. We get it, right? We get it. You lived like pigs in this thing and just destroyed it. Whoever lived here, it's just wow. I there are no words for. Look at this. It would take days to get the junk out of this thing. Look at the edge of the staircase. Never touched, never swept, never cleaned in 27 years. Wow. This is almost like a time capsule, but kind of in a bad way. When we look at the exterior, I definitely see some, it needs to be power washed. Look at the blinds. Man. This house needs a lot of TLC. Looking down from the top, I don't know when that was taken, but the roof looks okay. See all that excess vegetation around it? Yeah, the roof looks fine. That's the one thing that looks good. All right, we're at the end. Thank God. That was painful. I'm not kidding. That was a little painful to look at. Wow. Full cosmetic, $25K. Full repairs, $15K. We're at $40K. Electrical, plumbing, HV. What did they say? They said no known issues. And it was a newer house. Look, let's say the roof is great, HVAC great, and that there are no electrical or plumbing major things that are outside of the general repairs category. We're at $40K on cosmetic repairs. I think that outside might need more work, just to get the property cleaned up and the outside cleaned up. There's probably about 3,000 more of work to be done on the outside. I wonder if I could put like 1.2. It was kind of heavy. What was 1 was 25. 1.1 gives me a couple thousand more. So it's like 110%. Remember, 1 is 100%, and we can always go 1 point something and go a little bit over 100%. If we think it needs something, I think it needs a couple of grand, clean up on the outside. I'm going to stop here because, this house needs a lot of work. You can see why it's a cash deal. I think the right price for this house, based upon our model, is $177,573. They want $219. We are not even in the same zip code as far as talking about value here. We're states apart, maybe countries apart. And what our valuation is. I'm at 177. They're at 219. Now, why are they at 219? Because they didn't get it for 177. Probably, maybe they got it for 200. That's just what they could get it for, and so they're offering it to a cash buyer. Obviously, the wholesaler's got to make money. That's how wholesaling works. You go, you find a property, you get it under contract, and then you offer it through these great emails and the nice pictures and everything that these guys do, and it helps cash buyers to look at it and say, is that a deal for me? And maybe if it was a rental property, honestly, you might be able to pay maybe closer to 200, if you're not just trying to make your money on the flip. But if you're trying to flip this house, you got to be below 180 on this thing. And so they are $40,000 above that. We're not in the same galaxy. We are way far apart. So I guess that's it for right now. Again, I don't blame the wholesalers. They didn't. I'm guaranteeing you, they didn't get it at 177. Otherwise, they'd probably be offering us a 197 or 187 or something like that. With a wholesaler fee attached to it. They paid more for it in their contract. We can't get there with the cash value. And so with that one, I'll keep an eye on it. Often what I'm seeing with these things is I'm getting videos saying, reduced and things like that. And so quite often I'm finding that I can, get the house maybe later at a better price after they've marketed it and haven't sold it. Just like the regular homeowner, the wholesalers will often start to send you out an email that says, hey, we've reduced it 10K or 20K. They'd have to come way down on this one in order for me to do it. Yeah, I think it's 314 all day long in the ARV, 177 on the cash offer. Hope you enjoyed the class today. It's been awesome to spend some time with you. I do want to remind you, go to cashoffermasterclass.com, click on get the calculator. It's just a contact form. Fill it out. Also, if you have a wholesale deal, you can tell me. It's just contact forms. You can just say, hey, I got a wholesale deal. Let's look at it together. You can say that in the message. That'd be really cool. I'd love to do that with you guys. Catch up on the latest episodes. You can always go to our playlist here or check out our channel on YouTube. It is, let's see, view my channel. There's my channel. You can find it just by searching Cash Offer Masterclass on YouTube, and you'll find all the episodes. Anyway, great spending time with you today. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. I've got a couple more houses I'm really excited about showing you guys. Take care. Have a great day.